Hello, beautiful souls. So, this is part two of the twin flame template and what paradigms we are here to shift. Because there was a lot of material, and I realized it's already become a little longish video, so I had cut it short and I was bursting with the heat that I do emanate when I'm channeling, so I have tied up my hair. Okay, so as I was saying, the twin flames from different regions of the world, different countries, are here to bridge the man made chasms. And so your templates will be very different. Is it perfectly alright if you are already in a high vibration to have a relationship with another high vibrational person who wants the same relationship dynamic, a conscious partnership with you? Absolutely. Do people who have met their twins, but the twin is stuck and stagnant for the longest time, and you need certain lessons, you need certain experiences before you can move on to the next phase? Will a soulmate come into your life? Most likely. Is it alright for you to experience it with a soulmate? Yes. While we're talking on that, I think now the time has come for me to talk about something I have avoided talking about since I have opened this channel, except maybe mentioning the word once or twice. If you have done a certain amount of work, been open, been in forgiveness, in gratitude, in unconditional love, have extreme clarity of what you are here to experience, not necessarily coming from a desire or your emotions, or definitely not coming from a place of lack, but a clarity on this is what I have to experience in this lifetime. For example, lifetimes after lifetimes, you became a nun, you took the vow of celibacy, you were one of the virgin high priestesses in the time of Atlantis. But in this lifetime, you came down with a blueprint to experience what it is to experience human love in all forms, in the sense of having a house, a home, sex, intimacy, deep emotions, romance. You will have this extreme clarity. That's what I am here to experience. And if you have reached that point and you have been ready for the longest time, your twin is being prodded, guided, awakened by the higher self, by their guides. The universe is speaking to them and they refuse to act on it. They communicate to you in the physical that they are aware of it, but for whatever reason they're unwilling to budge. Sometimes one or both can take place. Is major tower moments hit? If after that also they do not come back onto the soul contract, there's something called a soul shock that they go through. They will feel like they are in a coma, that a part of them died. Now, with or without a soul shock, what can also take place is a walk-in. What does that mean? From my awareness, my understanding, someone may know more, someone may have a different perspective. This is how I am channeling the words, because When you're shown things, it comes as an understanding, it doesn't come to you with words. The higher self, that part of the higher self that is capable of fulfilling the soul contract between the two twins, between the two high vibrational soulmates, between two soul flames, whatever the labels, but especially I'm talking to twin flames. That part of the higher self comes and replaces the existing part of the soul. So there's a switch, there's a personality switch. For example, a politician who was doing XYZ things, living a certain debauchery full of fulfilled life, was extremely selfish, and then if there is a walk in, the higher self has walked in, they will suddenly start talking about awakening, about going after the pedophiles, will start talking about unity consciousness, and start taking very different decisions from what they have been doing even a day before. There's a radical, huge difference. From my personal experience, to protect someone's identity, I will not talk about the relationship I have with this individual. She was of a certain personality, behavior, before she went through a very crucial, life threatening surgery, and post that, her behavior, her habits, her personality, including her eyes, are different. She shares the same memories as with the previous, but she is different. She is not the same. I do not connect with her now post her surgery. We had a huge emotional proximity and intimacy and love. And now she, even physically, sometimes she has not been able to recognize me instantly or recognize my voice, but not only that, I can barely recognize her as the same individual that I have known for so very long. Do remember, I'm an energy reader, I'm an energy healer. I respond to energies, not to faces. When that walk in happens with your twin, you will see a 180-degree change in them. Their behavior, everything that they were not able to do or were denying, will suddenly happen, sometimes overnight. That's a huge possibility for a lot of you who have been on this journey for the longest time. When we are talking about anyone who's on the awakening path, ascension path, but really crucial for twin flames is to understand contradictions cannot coexist, paradoxes will always. Look up the dictionary meanings to understand how different they are. But to give an example, someone who is in love with a lie, a life of lies, who love lying, who loves the superficial, the shallow, cannot love a naked truth which is stark. Someone in love with darkness, as in addictions, orgies, porn, violence, manipulation, cannot love truly. They are lying when they say, lying to themselves. They will never love. In fact, they'll become the critic. They will criticize someone who's walking their truth and call them fake. To see and appreciate the truth, you have to be willing to take off your mask, be vulnerable, and accept your own BS. Accept when you have hurt people, when you've been in the wrong, and we all have done it, knowingly, unknowingly. You can be either a warrior of the lies or a warrior of the truth. But paradoxes mean we all have the inherent yin and yang, the masculine and feminine. We all have shadow aspects as well as the light aspects. That is what I mean by contradictions cannot coexist, but paradoxes do. When you can communicate with each other, inner child to inner child, adult to adult, parent to parent, and not mix up all of them, is when the harmonious part of the relationship can take place. One of you can be the adult, but if the other one is constantly being ruled by a wounded inner child, harmony cannot happen. At that time, it's just sensible for you to go aside and do your own thing and trust that other individual, if they are your true twin flame, will have to work on it or face consequences, be it tower moments, be it a soul shock, be it a walk-in. How, when, why, what makes the universe take that decision? How many chances will someone be given? We don't know. I will never claim things that I haven't experienced or know. And I always give the disclaimer, this is from my experiences. Yours may vary a little bit. But while we're on this topic, when we talk about mirroring, a lot of twin flames keep making the mistake about thinking it means exact. If, for example, I'm not consistent in my profession, the physical, the 3D, right? My twin may be inconsistent, most likely in the emotion. Work is brain, emotions is heart. If I'm inconsistent when it comes to brain, they are inconsistent in the heart. If I am lying in my, how should I say? If I am not being completely honest with regards to my soul, they may be living a lie in the physical. What I may experience as heartache and pining and longing, they may experience as headaches. You have to, for example, there were a couple of them and not just one who said, but I don't lie to my twin. So why does he lie to me? Are you lying to the world? Are you denying your true identity to the world? Are you lying to your parents? They're just reflecting it right back to you. You can change it by stop lying. But they'll be hurt. They are adults. If they are hurt, they will deal with it. You're afraid of the consequences that will impact you. And we all have been there. Mirroring can come in many forms. How to translate what a twin is saying to you? When my twin, for example, said to me a while ago, I cannot give you what you want, when we had not even talked about what I want. Essentially, what he was telling me is, I cannot give you that which I want to have with you. Just turn the I's into U's and U's into I's in most sentences. There's a lot of projection that takes place in every place, relationship, but especially with twins. If your twin says, you are not listening to me, maybe you need to listen to your own self. If you have said that to your twin. A twin shouts when, if I'm shouting at my twin, raising my volume, it's because either me or him or both of us are not listening to what our soul is telling us. You cannot be careless, not delve deep with every sentence spoken, every action that is taking place, and understand you more. You cannot be casual about it if you do want a resolution soon. This is not a hobby. Spirituality is not a hobby. Ascension is not something happening on the bylines. Everything that you have gone through in the past few years, from 2 years to 7 years to 20 years, the collective is going through it now. It's hit the collective. Twin flames, more than ever, you're responsible not to settle, not to give in to fear, not to be in judgment, not to be in polarization, not to believe the media. You at this time are anchoring different energies as required by at least your grid. Whether you're aware of it or not, you're affecting more than 1500 people. Let's do that positively. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you anchoring? You can only anchor from that chakra, those chakras that you've mastered, that you've healed, that you're here to do. If I am the prototype of XYZ things happening and then other twins will go through it, it's with you as well. Unconditional love is not the same as unconditional relationship. I hope you can make out the difference. We are very crucial at this time, where there's so much hate and fear and anger. The only ones anchoring love are twin flames. There are many other light workers. I know personally so many light workers, someone working with animals, someone working for those who are hungry, those who are poor, those who are working with children, with the elderlies. God bless them all. But the energy of love, of romance, of divine sex, that can actually raise the vibrations. The onus is on every twin flame. And if we are wasting that energy criticizing, judging, mocking others, we are wasting it. If someone is a way shower for the soulmates, they should focus on what their message is rather than mocking others. Just because they are not walking that path, let me remind you again, 2,88,000 individuals, 1,44,000 twins out of 8 billion. You do not know it all. None of us do. We are supposed to come together and piece together all the jigsaw puzzles That which is the lesson for someone in China is different from a person in India. Urban India is different from rural India. An Orthodox Indian is different from a very open minded liberal Indian. A developing countries focus the way it is different from a successful capitalist first world country. In the same way, depending on where you come from, depending on where your soul's journey is, depending on what you're here to clear your own self, learn your lessons, and then work as a twin, is unique and different. Some things are similar. All we can do is show. I'm perplexed when people post, not just for Twin Flames, but in magazine websites and stuff. I'm going through this. Are you taking a poll on what's the best course of action for you? And those who are responding with mockery and making fun and deriding or telling them stay in it, make it work. Are you kidding me? How about when you're answering someone's question, you instead of answering, you offer them potent questions. Why are you there? What are you afraid of? What can you do at this time to empower yourself regardless of what the questions may be? Should I stay in this job where my boss is sexually harassing me? Is there a better job opportunity? Is there someone you can speak to? What can you do? Don't deride, don't make it about male versus female. Instead of giving ready-made answers just because it worked for you, like in homeopathy or Ayurveda, every body is different. A different combination of stuff may work for someone, not necessarily for all. That's why allopathy is something that doesn't work with light workers. One formula for all is not how it works. What I will accept may not be what is the ideal scenario for someone else. It may be poison for them. My medicine may be poison for another. There is no ready-made solution. Offer them the questions that got you insights so they can go and introspect. If they need moral support, I have seen a lot of people want to just come and vent. How is that helping you except that for the time being you discharge that energy? Stay with that energy. Write it. Sit with it. You have to be so uncomfortable in that energy that you're willing to do what it takes to bring the change. The minute you dissipate it, till the next time that energy comes again, you'll just sit right there. Allow the universe to make you so uncomfortable that you want the change more than you want the status quo. Work with the universe. Drop the resistance. Whatever your individual stories might be, sharing your story, share your epiphanies. How you reached it is more important than what your epiphany was. For someone, it may be wait for the person. For another, it may be move on. Go experience life with a soulmate. For another, it may be, yeah, that person is your twin, but it's going to be a while till they are ready. What do you want to do in the meantime? Go ahead, do it. That's what's most important. hope this helps. I hope this brings you clarity. And next, let's talk about some energy updates as well.